so for instance, in Ukraine, what we saw during Euromaidan was there was obviously some control that the state had over mainstream media, but they really had very little control or understanding of social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all of those live streaming platforms. So the Ukrainian state under Yanukovych at that point didn't really see people using the internet or social media as a threat, which is why I think people were able to use social media in such creative ways. And they were able to come up with really ingenious ways of using them to organize protest activity, to live stream and make things more visible. Then to also use those live streams and recordings that exist now to conduct investigations right into all of the police brutality and all the killings that took place. And so we had a lot of creative freedom. And again, diasporas, as you say, were also really heavily involved in using social media in very creative ways to fundraise, to build support outside of Ukraine. In Russia, I think the situation is very different, and it's become increasingly more obvious how different it is. Going back to the 2012 Bolotnaya protests and to the more recent protests in 2017, 2019, 2020, social media is becoming increasingly suppressed by the state. The state has realized quite early on that digital media and the internet is also a threat to the dominance of the Russian state. So they really, and I think Euromaidan was actually one of the reasons why they became even more aware of the threat of the internet. So they have tried to really pass a lot of draconian legislation to introduce more and more ways of censoring internet, of cracking down on free speech, of promoting more and more ways to survey the population, to control what they say, where they go, to the point where we now have people who are going to prison with substantial sentences for retweeting a call to a protest rally. So, the situation is incredibly different. So I think Russian activists really see social media as almost a lifeline. So they're not just using it creatively, but for them, it's a means of survival, really. This is their one free channel where they can still express and mobilize and make visible what the state is doing to them.